Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use wire-wrapped loops to make your own gemstone chain. So I have a little example of what we're going to be doing here. So these are my little wire-wrapped loops that I made using some artistic wire, and we're going to be using some great little tiny little gemstones there to create this fun look. Alright, so I'm going to be using a 26 gauge wire, and that is because the gemstones are so small. They're about 2 to 3 millimeter rondelles. So you might be able to adjust this. So let's say you're using some larger beads. You can probably go with maybe a 24, maybe even a 22 if you like. But I'm going to be using the 26 because I want to make it really fine and delicate. So I have some little loose gemstones here that I'm going to be utilizing, and this is a great little technique. You can see how long that wire is, like how long that chain link is, and you didn't see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 8 gemstones there, so this is great if you want to use up some extra gemstones and you have some wire. All right, so very basic tools that we're going to need. We're going to need some chain nose pliers, we're going to need some round nose pliers, a pair of flush cutters, and it's always good to have a pair of wire straightening pliers. Anytime you're doing wire wrapping, I find that these often come in very handy. All right, so let's go ahead and start, and I'm going to take some of my artistic wire here, and let me just find my end. There we go. All right, so I'm going to take off maybe about 6 to 8 inches or so, and I'm just going to come in with my flush cutters. Now, I try not to waste too much wire, but unfortunately, sometimes there's no way to avoid that. So what I'm going to do is just kind of bend it out with my hands there. And then I'm going to come in with my wire straightening pliers and just kind of hold that right there. And then what you can do is hold the other end with your chain nose pliers, and I just want to kind of bend that out just to kind of get rid of some of that loop, that kink there. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect. These wraps are going to be fairly small, but that's a little easier to work with, wouldn't you say? All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to take our round nose pliers. We're going to come down about 1 inch or so from the top of that, and we're just going to bend it back as though we're making a little simple wire loop. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that wire and just wrap it up and over the top of the plier and bring it around the front. I'm going to rotate my plier, bring it around, and then sort of bring it back down around the back, and I'm going to loop it over the front one more time because I want it to look wire wrapped, so I'm going to create 2 little wraps there and kind of bring it back towards the front. Now I can release my chain nose pliers, come in with my flush cutters, and just trim that off. Now if you need to, you can come in again with your chain nose pliers and just kind of pinch that together. There we go. Just make sure everybody's nice and secure. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of flip this around, and I'm going to add on one of our gemstone beads here. Just adding it on to the bottom, and you're going to see it come down there to the bottom. All right. So now we're ready to complete and create one full little link. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in again with my round nose pliers, and you want to come in just above your bead there so that when you bring it back, you can create that nice little wire loop. Again, just sort of up and over the top and around. We rotate our pliers, we rotate our pliers, bring that over, and just sort of bring that around to the back, to the front, to the back, and to the front again. All right, so there we go. We're going to come in with our flush cutters and trim that off. All right, so now we have our first little dangle here. So in order to create the whole sort of chain-like look, let me just kind of straighten my wire here one more time. There we go. We're going to repeat that process, but it's going to be a little bit different on this side. All right, so now, again, taking my round nose pliers, same thing, about 1 inch or so down. We want to come back with those pliers, go up and over the top, but what we want to do is kind of leave a little bit of that open before we sort of cross it over. So just sort of start to cross it there, but then what we're going to do is we're going to take our little loop and slide it onto the end and come in so it kind of sits right where our loop is going to be. And this is where we want to have that little tiny tip of our chain nose pliers come in, and it's going to kind of grip that loop there and hold that in place for us as we bring that around and do our little wrapped wire loop up and over the top just like that. There we go. And bringing it around to the front. And same thing, coming in with my flush cutters. And you got a lot of wire in there, so make sure you're only clipping the right wire. There we go. All right, so now same thing as kind of before. What we're going to do is just sort of flip that over. And you can see that I have that little wire wrap on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up another one, slide that down, and we are now ready to repeat. So coming in with our little round nose pliers there, taking that wire, bending it back, wrapping it up and over the top. And this, we can go ahead and close this like normal because it's only that first one that we need to worry about linking to, because this is going to be the anchor for the next one. Coming in, and then finally coming in with our flush cutters, trying to get really nice and close there. And that is how we make the whole little chain link. So there you go. It's a nice little way to sort of continue, and you can see how lovely it looks when you have multiple, and you can choose really fun little colors there. There's a lot of great little design elements that you can do with this. You can alternate wood beads in here. You can also do this with seed beads or even larger gemstones. You know, if you wanted to go with a larger wire, it is entirely up to you. It's a really basic, fun technique. I encourage you to test it out and try it and love it. You can find all of these supplies and see even more tutorial videos by heading over to beadaholique.com.